If I told you guys that there was a film about a wererooster, could you just not turn it into a fetish for like 5 minutes? I just can't today.
This is No Day at the Beach. This is the Night of the Wererooster.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, you son of a bitch. Yes, this film fortunately does not take itself very seriously. Unfortunately, it is just, the quality is so bad that there are times where I can barely hear it, times where I can barely look at it, just generally times where I can barely stand it. The Night of the Wererooster features a group of people all contacted by this lady because they've lost someone and she wants to bring them together to hunt down the killer out in the woods. There's this manly man guy, an angry woman whose main personality trait is that she has large breasts. You think I'm kidding or being misogynist? No. It's constant. That is all they ever talk about with her. And then there's this guy whose main personality trait is that he's gay and tried to hide it badly by like way overcompensating, like not like the normal like, oh, that guy's overcompensating, he might be gay. Like, it is so annoyingly blatant, I can't stand it. And then there's this loser guy who brought along his hunter friend who is actually called Colonel Sanders. They go out into the woods, they start to get picked off one by one, and eventually they believe our main girl when she tells them they are hunting a wererooster. Yeah, the sound quality is so varied, so all over the place, that it is like, even if you're paying proper attention at all times, you will miss some of the important exposition because you just won't be able to hear it. The video quality is not quality, and the main instrument used in the soundtrack is a banjo, which is played far too loudly most of the time. It gets to the point where the quality overall is so poor, it doesn't even matter anymore whether this might have actually been kind of funny as an idea if it had had just like that, like slightly better quality. The angry breasts lady has a flashback scene, which lasts about 5 minutes in a 90-minute film. Feels long. Where her aunt teaches her to never be nice to any man or show any weakness to any man. And then the angry breast lady dies like 5 minutes later after this flashback. So why was her personality or history relevant? It wasn't. This is just the kind of thing this film does. Like, it has these individual moments where you're like, that was kind of funny, I guess. But then the next scene, you can barely hear anything or you can barely see anything and you just go, ah. It's like I was almost trying to actually kind of get on board with it at times. And then it just pushed me off, and it was so annoying. The wererooster, like, besides the prologue scene, there is no scene where you actually see anything from the wererooster or where he actually kills anyone for about half an hour in a 90-minute film, which is a lot. There's not a lot of actual kill scenes. It skips like half of them, so it can go back and explain what happened later. In fact, you never see the wererooster. I just realized that. You never actually see the wererooster on screen. Like, you see some feathers dripping down at one point. I think you see his shit at one point. I think you see him shitting. And you definitely see, like, a beak as he, like, nah. But it never shows the wererooster in the entire film. Like, so, what is this? I do watch, like, quite a lot of bad movies, every Friday, in fact. And I should be used to this kind of crap by now, but this, like, most of the bad movies I watch do have, they're actually by a production company like The Asylum. So they just have some level below which, in terms of, like, the basic things, like, you can call it like a checklist they have, but at least they have the checklist. This is like a kind of next level atrocity, even though it probably has a better idea for a film and plot than like 70% of those films. It's so bad. It's so badly made. And I can't believe they just didn't do more takes at certain points. Because there are just times where the actors kind of like break and you can tell they've broke. And then they keep going and it's like, what? So it's rough. It has no wererooster, some really atrocious ideas, and it gives away, like, the biggest twist in the film really incredibly obviously by the end of the first act. So I'm giving Cock-a-doodle don't half a star. Have you ever wished that you could just fully remove things from your brain, like Harry Potter style? Just take them out, like the 10-minute long exposition scene, which just goes on, where they explain everything that actually happened in this. Even though it was painfully obvious what was actually happening in this the whole time. Actually, just the entire wererooster film without a wererooster in it. I would like to just Harry Potter remove that. But that's not real. Subscribe for more hard truths.